Hello, welcome. Name's Chris. This is a show of let me grab it, the Ellis DecK in 3 parts again. First part will be a single card flip through if you like that. Second part will be like 7 cards at a time, and cards shown in rows of 7, whether it's 3 or 2. And part 3 will be old. They didn't call it a spread, but it's part of a reading. I vaguely remember. I don't remember what each position meant, if there were positions that had meanings. But basically, it's like flipping over a rock or a stone to come to what's underneath, which is kind of the future. Kind of. I don't know. That was vaguely explained. But I want to get to showing this deck quickly. So I was feeling a little blah today, even though the outside is still snowing and it's really beautiful out there. I went for a 3-mile walk in the snow on unplowed sidewalks, but that's okay. It's kind of a little bit of extra exercise to walk like that. So that was good. And this is like kind of welcome to the border with Canada. But no, it's beautiful out there. So I'm blessed, I'm lucky, I'm grateful, all the above. So first, let's look at the image for this thumbnail. On the left, you can see the little guide piece of paper. That's the minors that's showing, like in a table form: cups, rods, pentacles, swords. In the middle, that's the box for the deck, the Ellis DecK by Taylor Ellis. On the far right is the back of the cards, which has what looks like a cat on an eye with some vines around it and clouds, maybe flowers, maybe. But you can tell reversals because it's black on white and then it's white on black. So, but that's cool. So that's the image. So let's get to part 1 right away, which is me showing the cards, and hopefully I'll be quiet. In the background, there's a peace sign and the girl with the pearl earring, a candle, and a colorful thing that somebody else made that I added colors to, and a magic book. But anyway, let's get to the cards. Here we go. Good afternoon. I don't normally show decks back to back, even though I have quite a backlog, but I'm feeling a little down today, so I thought I would pass some time by showing a deck, which I enjoy doing. Not sure that this is one of my favorite decks ever, but it's called the Ellis DecK, illustrated by Taylor Ellis. It comes in this box, which is very shiny. I'm trying a new way of lighting it. I think it makes it brighter. This is kind of a dark deck. I don't think it's helping the back of the box at all. I still can't make out exactly what's going on there. It's a little scratched up, but that's okay. There's the other side. And then inside, I think they signed it. Happy reading, Taylor Ellis, right there. That's cool. So I will, for this part, flip through the cards one at a time. Maybe take that off so it doesn't interfere. Also in the box, put this back. In the box was a sticker, which looks like a lion and a mermaid or fish or something in the bathtub, or maybe it's a merlion. I'm not sure. And then here's one of the cards, but in a really giant size. Like, that's normally what they are. And they just included this card for some reason. I mean, it's another inch wider and another inch taller. Same backs. So there's that. If that's showing up at all, hold on. It's just a 7 of wands rods, which we'll see later. Also in the box was a 1 piece of paper, 1-page guide, which is interesting and has quite a bit on there, I guess, without all the words. Well, you know, adjectives, adverbs, all that. It got major arcana is the physical word, the major arcana metaphysical world. So that's that side, the majors. And here are the minors. If I can get that to fit. Almost. That looks pretty good. There's a glare right there because of the new light. I think it's still readable. Maybe just move it over the glare, it goes away. A little bit. Maybe more. Okay. They've got them listed as, you know, ace through king, cups, rods, pentacles, swords. So that's a little different than I will be showing them. I'll show them as rods, cups, swords, and pentacles. But that's just me. It doesn't really matter. So let's take the box back apart, and then I'll drop them in there. And hopefully they'll show up one at a time. Here comes the Fool. And just initially, just to check the lighting, I'm going to look at it that way. Then I'm going to turn it over and let you see the back. Obviously, you can tell a reversal because it's black and white, white on black, and black on white. But that's okay. Let's see what happens. It's not bad. It's a little washed out. A little bit washed out. Right? But that's not bad. Does this fit in here beside it? It's not, causes a glare. Okay, so let's go through the majors now. Here comes the Magician. And I need to slow down a little bit so the light adjusts. So sorry if it takes longer. The High Priestess. The Empress. The Hierophant. The Emperor. The Lovers. And just so you know, these are, I guess, what you kind of like low Scarabeo. In other words, they would be easy to shuffle because they're thin and very flexible. I'm not sure about the cardstock size and whether they're plastic or not. I don't think so. And there's, as you can see, no edging. Here's the Chariot. Strength. These have a cartoon comic book like, which is okay if you're into that. The Hermit. The Wheel. Justice, a black and white card. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. The Hanged Man, which is the cover on the box, I believe. Let's see. Yippers. That's glossy, so that's much brighter colors than that. These are not glossy. These are kind of matte, I guess you would say. There's Death. Temperance. The Devil. The Tower. Whoops. Just put some tape on that. The Star. The Moon. I always pause at the Moon cards because look at that one upside down. The reflection of the moon in the water and her arms coming up like trees. That's cool. The Sun. Judgment. That's an emphasis on the E for some reason. And the World. So now here come the minors. First up is what they call rods instead of wands. And at times this seems like pippish, but there are images here. 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to slow down. 7, which is that big card that was included. Let's see, tilting it helps. Maybe just a little. the 8 of rods, the 9 of rods, 10, page, knight, queen, and king. I don't know what year this was out. I think they have a website. That's where I got it. So probably all that information is there. I just Google Ellis DecK. I'm not sure why I discovered or wanted it, but here's the cups, ace of cups, 2 of cups, 3 of cups. If you notice where the title of the card is, they're kind of color coded. For some reason, all the cups are reddish. The wands look gray and the pentacles are green. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the page, and the knight, and the queen, and the king of cups. Here comes the swords with the gray along the bottom, ace of swords, 2 of swords, 3 of swords. So if anyone knows more about the history or everything behind the deck, not being lazy, but just I don't always go after that sort of thing. But if you want to share that in a comment, that'd be great. 4 of swords, or just whatever you think about the deck. 5 of swords, or just what you think about seeing the deck as single cards. And then in part 2 of this, I'll show them as 7 at a time. Or maybe you want to comment on why there's 3 parts, or I don't like that one. I think this is what the back of the box is. I think the 6 of swords is the back of the box. I think, but turned the other way. 7 of swords, 8 of swords. I get so many nice comments. Sometimes I don't respond. 9 of swords, which is probably a lame thing to do. 10 of swords. So apologies for that. Page of swords, knight of swords, queen of swords. A lot of the kings look similar. King of swords. I guess they're sitting, facing us. That's why they look similar. So here come the pentacles. 2 of pentacles. Kind of a rabbit, kind of. 3 of pentacles. 4 of pentacles. 5 of pentacles. 6 of pentacles. 7 of pentacles. 8 of pentacles. 9 of pentacles. 10 of pentacles. Page. Knight. Queen. King. So that was a single card flip through of the Ellis DecK. So I'll be back for part 2, which is kind of 7 at a time in rows. So with that, I will say peace for this part. Hello, welcome back. That's the end of part 1. Now we're going to go on to part 2. Let's talk more cards, right? So here we go. Good afternoon. I'm back for part 2 of showing the Ellis DecK by Taylor Ellis. This is the box, which may have not shown up very well the first time around. on the single card flip through because there's only so much room. And we'll see that card later that's on the back of the box, which still doesn't show up very well. It's one of those boxes. There aren't grips, but there's room to grab. There's a note inside. Happy reading, Taylor Ellis. That's nice. So that's the box. That's the Hanged Man. And it came with this big extra card, so you can see the backs clear. You can tell reverse, white on black, black on white. A 7 of rods is the card that was included for some reason. There's also a sticker, which I guess is nice. It's either a fish and a lion or a merlion, I'm not sure, in a bathtub. Nice, looks like a nice bathtub. And it comes with this. I'll put the box back so I can put it on it. This little one-page guidebook. Hopefully the glare, I think the glare is pretty bad right there, so let's move it over one. Sorry about the glare right here. There's a light. So there's the major arcana. He has it split up into physical world, metaphysical world. And then there's the back with all the minors. Ace through king. The order they have it in is cups, rods, pentacles, swords. I'll probably be showing it as rods, cups, swords, pentacles, but that's okay. I'll let that go for a little bit. Hard to see here, but the part 1 has it kind of zoomed in, so it's easier to read. But that was the guidebook. And while I have the box here, I'll just put the Fool card on it, maybe on the back. There's the Fool card. I'll hold it up, try to get it kind of without too much light. These are thin. There's the backs on the normal size. So we put the Fool out here. I think it still shows up. Yep. Get the box out of the way. Get the book out of the way. And oops, card came up. The wheel. So there's the 3 rows, a 7 for the major arcana. The tower's nice. The moon's not bad. Hermit. Not sure it's my thing, but it's always interesting to see these different sorts of decks compared to the usual. So I'll kind of cover these up and start bringing in the minors. Here come the rods. I don't know if you heard that noise, but that's something in the walls. I don't think it showed up. And again, sorry about that glare. Let's see if I can tone it down for just a second. Yeah, that kind of works. Maybe it does it on its own. I don't think so. So this one's a little washed out. That's a 5 of rods. Sorry about that. But you can probably get the idea, I think. Okay. Whoa, here come the cups. Let me put those in the air and try to cover it up for a little bit. Let it go so you can see better. And then I'll go straighten out the swords. It's got all messed up. So here come the swords. And I think this is the back of the box, but kind of flipped. Let's see if we can make it out. Maybe it's not flipped. It's just a different way of looking at it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's a little fuzzy and a bit scratched. So let me block that out for a little bit so you can maybe see the 5 a bit better. There you go. Amazing after doing this for 4 years. The lighting is still crazy. Crazy as in an issue all the time. Or I'm just too particular. Here come the pentacles. Let me block it out again. That looks pretty good. Okay, and I'll bring back in this big 7 of rods from before. And the lion made in a bathtub sticker that comes with it. And the box. And a little guidebook. Maybe put that over here. Put this over here. Put this over here. There we go. That looks pretty good. So this was part 2 of me showing the Ellis DecK by Taylor Ellis. So with that, I'll say peace for this part, and it's on to part 3. Welcome back. And now we're going to go on to part 3 of this way of showing tarot decks. In this case, it'll be on very old kind of reading. I'm not sure if it's called a spread or not, but anyway, you'll see in what's coming up. So here we go. See you back shortly. Good afternoon again. This is part 3 of me showing the Ellis DecK. In this part, I don't really do readings anymore exactly, but I just want to lay them out in something like a spread. And some of these are things I saw a long time ago and only vaguely remember the explanation for them, as in each card in their position, but I don't even think they called them spreads. Maybe there was another term or something. I don't know. That's me being too old. But there's the Ellis DecK, and I think what they called this was flipping the stone or turning the stone over, as in I have a stone here to symbolize this a little bit. As in you can see the outside, and I guess as you flip it over you start to see something else, and the future's, if I recall correctly, is kind of at the bottom of the stone or under the stone, what's on the ground. So you'll see here as I flip through the cards. But again, this is the Ellis DecK. Let's put this somewhere in the picture, but somewhere out of my way so I don't knock it over. And this little pile of 7, I think it was 9 cards, but I'm just doing 7, actually represents this, the stone that we're going to turn over as we go through the cards. So turning over, first we have the Queen of Pentacles, which I guess, since it's the top and the most easily seen, would represent, you know, what's going on right now. Then there's 3. So that was like the peak of this rock right here. Then there's 3, and if I recall, they went right to left. So then there's the 9 of rods. And I'm not sure what to call each of these positions. This is just allowing you to see the cards as they came out. So I'll try to echo that here. Let's see if I can do this. I might have to zoom out. Hold on. Sorry. So this would be like the top of the rock. This would be the next 3. Here's the pile as it was. Here we go. The Emperor right there in the middle of those 3. The 3 of Swords. And then we, if I recall, she came down to 2. So we're getting a little closer to having the rock completely flipped over there. Here's the 4 of Swords. Here's the Eight of Cups. And at the very bottom, if I remember correctly again, this was like the future or action to take or something along those lines, right? So here at the very bottom, the rock completely turned over to symbolize this is the Chariot. So that's my show of the Ellis deck. This was part 3, kind of like you might see them in some sort of reading or some sort of spread. This is an old one that I recall vaguely. And of course, the deck comes with this quick reference, 1-page sheet. So that's helpful, I suppose. And with that, that ends part 3 and this show. With that, I'll go and stitch these together and say peace. Okay, welcome back. That was part 3, which was kind of how the cards might appear in a spread. Apologies for if the person on some off chance is out there and has seen any of these where I show, I guess you could call them spreads. They didn't call them that, but and I'm not giving them credit for them. I didn't invent any of these, but and I would give them credit if I could remember their names entirely, but I don't, and I'm not sure they'd want me to without being in contact with them, blah, blah, you know, blah, blah. So I am not in contact with them. But this time period for these, that most of the spreads that I'll show, if they are spreads, would be in the, from 1990 to 2003 is when I used to do readings. And this is from some of the people that were there. And I just wanted to say that you know, they're not mine, they're someone else's. And I don't even know if they call them spreads. I don't even know if you can consider them spreads, but they seem spread-like to me. So I just sharing that. But this was, to get back to the point of this, a show of the Ellis deck by, if it shows up there, Taylor Ellis. Comes in this box. I'll try to remember to link to, I think it's a website you have to get it through. So with that, I hope you have as much snow as we have here. Just kidding. Although it is beautiful and cold and fun. But with that, I will say peace. Be well.